Video should start soon. I don't know if it's going or not. That's the problem. It's not. There's no errors that are kicking up. So this is awkward. I don't know if this is live or not, guys. Let me check the page real quick and see if there's a separate video. Boom, 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 boom. So what does this mean? What does this mean? Edit post. Shut up, Matt. This is
No. I'm just imagining somebody that could see and hear us right now. You know,
guys, you're live. Fetching video stream. This can take a few seconds. Looks good. I can't tell if we're live or not. Oh my bless. Yeah, go live.
Send it.
Oh, we're live now. All right, there we go.
And we're live.
Boom.
Okay, well, this is going to be a little delayed, but just wanted to try and get this rolling. Let us know if you guys can catch us in the comments. Let us know if we sound good, first of all, because we just got to make sure that we are actually live before we start talking, because that would be a disaster. So I'm going to wait here just for a second to see if it comes up on my feed now, where we have sound.
No mistakes.
No mistakes.
First try.
Yeah. I don't make mistakes. Ever. If you guys have ever seen these streams, they go perfectly every time.
Exactly.
100%.
Oh, man. This is taking forever. I'm trying to load just the feed real quick, but it is not having it. There we go. Hey, we're live. Okay. Like and comment. Let's watch this. Oh, it's going to make me watch this in the app because I don't have the app on my phone right now. You bastards. All right. Well, we're going to just keep... do you guys have Facebook on your phone real quick? Can you check that?
I don't have my phone on me at the moment.
Matthew?
I don't have Facebook on my phone.
Oh, my gosh. Well, anybody that's here, that's tuned in right now, just let us know if you can hear us, because I'm going to download the Facebook app while we're waiting to figure this out.
Yeah, just hit us with a thumbs up.
We do it casual here.
Emojis.
This is, we want you guys to see behind the curtain how the magic really happens, because truly this is not very magical. Oh my gosh! And because we're back in the middle of the worst room in the house, this download speed is awesome. All right, well, you know what? If it is live, but it is also recording on, hard drive. So we're just gonna run with it. All right.
You just got to send it.
Let's in roll. 3, 2, 1, go. What's up, guys? Welcome to BitCast episode 57 for the week of June 17th, 2018. I'm your host, Jake Martin, and in the studio this week we have Matt Intemann.
Hey.
And Landry Smith.
Hello, everyone.
Gentlemen, thank you so much for being here. And again, hopefully we're live. We don't know if we are or not, but we do know we're recording, so that's all that really matters. Today we're going to be discussing E3 2018. It happened about a week ago, and that's it. So we're going to jump into this really quick. The drink of the show today is water. And without further ado, here we go. It's a quick transition right there for you guys.
Nice.
Good old quickie.
The old quickie. So if you did not know or you live under a rock, E3 happened this past weekend, so June 9th until June 12th, I believe. Tuesday was the last one for Nintendo. They saved the best for last, it seems. But we had EA on the first day. So overall, I just wanted to know, did this conference or did E3 live up to your expectations?
For me, no. I try and always keep low expectations for these events, but I was so underwhelmed by this year, and I really kind of felt like for the first time that there might be new consoles coming in 2020 because there just weren't really very many announcements. There's the games that we'd already heard about, and we got to see actual gameplay footage and stuff like that. But I just always like to get hyped for like new announcements, that kind of stuff. So.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I try to keep my expectations as low as possible because there's been some really terrible years.
So true.
The Wii Music.
That was pretty bad. Yeah, Nintendo's had some real bad years, but yeah, nothing really jumped out or like blew me away. You know, I mean, there was some solid gameplay that was shown, but nothing that kind of blew my socks off or anything.
Yeah, right.
There were like good showings and like strong trailers, but it was mainly games that we all knew about. There were a few like good surprises here and there, and we'll get to those. But yeah, overall, and I think that's part of the problem with E3 is everyone's come to expect these just gangbuster conferences where like they just announce everything that you love. I mean, honestly, like Nintendo last year was kind of like that, where they had Metroid Prime,
2 Metroid games,
and all this stuff, and I was just like, this is great. But and then they all Smash 4, obviously, or was that a Nintendo Direct?
That was a Nintendo Direct in March this year, I think.
But that kind of announcement, like where you like, oh crap, like what is this game?
Mm-hmm.
You get really excited, and then when you see the title screen, you're like, wow, can't wait.
Exactly.
Gonna see it in 3 or 4 years. This year it was a lot of just, oh yeah, I know about this game. Great, glad to see that it's scooting along just fine. But and we'll rank these at the end, and as we're going along, make sure you write down like which ones you think were the best or the worst. But there were definitely not some good conferences this year, and we'll talk about that as well. But first up, we had EA on Saturday, June 9th. I actually did not get to catch this one live because I was out of town.
You're a lucky man.
But I heard it was not good. So they showcased Anthem first. What'd you guys think? I mean, great to see more of that.
Yeah, when they first showed it, it was like a cinematic trailer, and it looked beautiful, but it was a cinematic trailer. And then they jumped to like this weird panel with like the developers on stage, and it just kind of it just slowed everything down for me.
Right.
And I honestly had to go to work at that point, so I kind of catched it up and like sped through it a little later. But Matt, what do you think about Anthem? I'm not a big BioWare guy, so it doesn't do much for me anyway.
Yeah, I mean, nothing about it really draws me in that much. I'd be interested to see a little bit more about it once it comes out. But yeah, it's not really my type of game, but I could be wrong.
This trailer looked great. I mean, you guys, if you guys are tuning in for the video portion of this, we have Anthem playing right now in the background, and it was more of like a cinematic trailer where it was just kind of playing through. Obviously this is not realistic gameplay, but they did have gameplay they showed later.
Yeah.
So
I feel like there was a lot of cinematics at this year's E3.
Yeah. Beyond Good and Evil, stuff like that.
That trailer was brilliant, though.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we don't know what the game looks like yet. So hopefully it's good. But for me, a lot of like what Anthem is just Destiny, just maybe cooler because you have jetpacks. So
yeah,
I hope I have high expectations. That comes out February 22nd.
And so,
year.
As a Destiny player, how do you feel about it? Do you think you'll give it a shot?
Oh, I'll definitely give it a shot
Okay.
if it gets good reviews.
Right.
That'll be one that I'm going to wait for. It's not like a day one purchase where I'm like, I gotta have this game.
Right.
Where it could be for a lot of people, but for me, I haven't seen enough where I'm sold.
It hasn't proven itself yet.
Yeah. And then we got up just a bunch of just turds that got thrown at us. So Battlefield 5, more about that. And then they announced their Battle Royale mode.
Right.
Whoopee. I am excited about this because, honestly, from Fortnite and PUBG, they're two very different games. And PUBG has never been the best graphically because they have a smaller team. So I'm excited to see what a full-fledged AAA developer can do with a Battle Royale mode. And same with Call of Duty. I'm sure that they're going to do a Battle Royale thing. Or if they
I
didn't
was
already
surprised we
that.
didn't get more Battle Royale announcements because that was like the first 5 minutes of E3. We had the first one. I tweeted, I was like, first of many. We're going to get like an avalanche of Battle Royale modes.
Yes.
But
Splatoon, Battle Royale.
And then like
I would go for that.
I'd be okay with that. And it would make sense. I mean, anyways. So I think other than that, like a lot of this was funded around, hey guys, we're over loot boxes and we're over microtransactions. Like EA is doing a lot of.
Yeah. How many times did they say that?
They did a lot of damage control in this conference, trying to make sure everyone knew that they were a cool company again.
Right.
Which kind of sucks that you have to do that, but good to hear that people spoke with their wallets and that they're listening to their audience. They announced EA Origin Access, which this is unfortunately like a step back from them not doing loot boxes. This is a paid service, kind of like Netflix, where you'll have access to their games, on any device, which is a cool idea. We'll see how well it works, and that should be coming sometime this summer. Or that could be like just a beta. I'm not exactly sure when it's coming out. Then we saw some Battlefront 2 stuff, Clone Wars DLC. For you guys, is Battlefront 2 kind of just done?
I mean, I never started, so
yeah, I never got on it. And I never played the first one or the old ones back in the day. So
I feel like for me, this game has done so poorly. If it comes out for like $20, that's still a high price for me.
I did see like the Lando DLC, and I was like, that's pretty cool.
Does it have Donald Glover?
It looks just like him. Yeah.
Sweet. Okay. Well, that could be cool. That could be cool. We got just the developer talking about Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, which is supposed to be like the legitimate Star Wars game that people have been waiting for a long time. So, but that's it. That's he just said, this is what it's going to be like. Maybe, hopefully, it's good.
Could have shown us a logo or something.
Something. No.
What do you know? What kind of Star Wars game it's going to be, or like what you would compare it to?
I wouldn't even say it's like KOTOR. It's going to be a single player.
Okay.
Star Wars experience. So I have no idea what it's going to be like.
Interesting.
Do you ever play like the old ones on PS2 or like? It might have even been PlayStation, but where you're like running around just blasting people and deflecting lasers.
Was that like a Jedi Outcast or like or what was it, the Academy or Jedi Academy?
Could be. Maybe it's like that. Who knows? That'd be cool. And then Unravel 2, they pulled a out now announcement on that one.
That was probably the most exciting thing for me in that conference. That's the only game that I may pick up. Other than, I play Madden every year, but I don't need to see a video about that.
No, we all know exactly what it's going to be.
Right, exactly.
I'm glad they didn't spend like too much time on all this on the sports conferences. I mean, like they spent still a lot of time on it, but like it wasn't near as much as everything else. Because I think they know the people that go to E3 typically aren't your just sports fans.
Right.
They're sports fans. That's I'm being whatever the word is for that. I'm typecasting people that go to E3, but in this situation, it makes sense that the sports games didn't get a lot of screen time on there.
Right.
But yeah, it looks cool. Co-op gameplay. I think it'll be a fun time. So that was EA. Overall, what do you guys think of their conference?
It's easily the worst one in my opinion. Far and away worse than any of the others.
Yeah, I mean, I think EA's kind of been on the downhill for a while now.
They didn't have much to talk about. I mean,
they didn't totally redeem themselves with this.
But I don't think they take E3 as seriously because I think they may understand that that's not really their clientele. I think they're going for a much more like mainstream, casual gamer.
Yeah.
I mean, FIFA's like a multi-billion-dollar game.
Sure.
So.
Yeah.
Who makes Ori and the Blind Forest?
That's a great question.
Is that EA?
No. I don't think it is.
Ubisoft. It could be Ubisoft. I can't remember if they were in this conference or not. So there you go. There you have it. EA. Not the best conference. I'm gonna give that one. I'm kind of with you. How many are here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 conferences. I'm gonna give that one a nice 7 as well. Up next, one of the surprisingly like probably the best conferences in my opinion in terms of what they did. Microsoft. They were on Sunday at June 10th and. They just packed punches, man. They just had so many announcements, and I cut out a ton of games that they talked about. They ran through 50 games. I think there was like 18 exclusive titles or 18 world premieres and 15 exclusives or something like that. So it was the first time we were seeing a ton of these games, as well as it was just like back to back, like good announcements. So started off with Halo Infinite, and I think I got a trailer for this as well. Let's see if this loads. What do you guys think of this?
I mean, Halo's gonna get people going. So, and I heard that it's a completely new engine. Like they're not using any of the assets from Halo 5. So from the ground up, that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I haven't really played a Halo game since Halo 3, to be honest. But I haven't had an Xbox One, so
it didn't look like they used a lot of like. I think this was like a pretty rough cut when you look at the footage, like especially when the warthogs kind of shooting across the dirt. Like it didn't look great. It looked well. It did. It just looked kind of cartoony almost. Like it was more of a CGI.
I wonder if that'll be more of the direction of the game. I think the last one I played was Reach. I think it came out when I was like a freshman in college.
Right.
I played a little bit of that, but yeah, I don't know. It's good to see Halo back, but I'll have to see what it kind of brings to the table in terms of multiplayer, and because I feel like they've moved away from their multiplayer roots a lot.
Yeah, yeah, and I mean with Guardians or Halo 5, they did a pretty bad job of kind of winning fans over with that, because a lot of it was, a lot of the problems with that game was that it was you couldn't have split screen multiplayer. You know?
And they like invented split screen multiplayer pretty much.
How many times did you go to like your friend's house and play Halo all night?
On the big massive controllers.
So a ton of kids couldn't even experience that.
Yeah, I don't think I ever played through Halo's campaigns outside of co-op. Any of the first 3.
Mm-hmm. There's the Warthog.
It's a crying shame. Yeah, I mean this game looks neat, and I'm really excited to see it coming back. But we'll see what comes from Halo. I think that's the Halo right there that they're referencing. So we're not sure. I think this. And I've heard that this was a prequel, or this was like set before.
Master Chief's confirmed to be in it. So
yeah, that's what people were also wanting. I think more Master Chief. So, and then we saw just a whole slew of different games from Software. Showed us their new Dark Souls-esque kind of game, Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice. Looks pretty cool.
Oh yeah,
it's not exclusive, is it?
No, it's on PS4.
Okay, yeah.
They announced this at PSX with like just a
picture
logo,
of the bone.
Which didn't really make any sense.
Yeah,
because everybody thought it was like Bloodborne 2, but
yeah, nope.
But this looks super cool.
I like the grappling hook arm. I think that's a pretty neat little situation right there.
And after Westworld Season 2, I'm down for like any kind of samurai action. Like I'm so in the mood for that. So.
I still haven't watched Westworld yet, the new season.
Oh man, it's really good.
Yeah, I thought the environments in this video was incredible, and the gameplay looked really fun too.
I got this mixed up for a second with Ghost of Tsushima or whatever.
That's fair.
Also, there's a lot coming out.
Samurai-based game as well.
Samurai's so hot right now.
So hot right now, so hot. But no, this game looks great. I'm excited to play that when it comes out. I don't know if there's a release date for that or not yet. I didn't write it down if it was. Then we had Devil May Cry 5, which was a surprise announcement as well. I don't know. Have you guys ever played the games before?
I played the original trilogy on PS2. Actually, I played 4 too. I didn't play the DMC one. But
I think that it was really cool to see the game. I mean, it looks again, it was a cinematic trailer. It wasn't gameplay, but Dante's got a new look, and I think that was a complaint from Devil May Cry 4, as he looked kind of stupid. So they changed his hair a little bit again, and it looks pretty much about the same.
Yeah, I love those high paced like action games like God of War, Devil May Cry. I'm a big fan of all those.
Bayonetta, you played those before.
Oh yeah,
it's kind of similar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Crackdown 3. This trailer was probably like one of the most annoying trailers that I had watched. It was just Terry Crews just shouting the entire time.
Yeah, it was a little excessive.
People were excited about this game though. I'm hoping it's good.
Mm-hmm.
There wasn't a lot in this for me. I'm like, it looks okay. Even the graphic style was like very cartoony.
Right.
Almost like cell shaded, which was different from the first two, which they were still more of a cartoony look, but they had realistic textures. Whereas this one was like flat coloring. And I was like, that's interesting. It looks okay. I'm not too bummed about that one. We had a lot of time on Shadow of the Tomb Raider. To be honest, I'm just not excited about these games when they keep announcing them.
Yeah, I'm not really either. I mean, I've played both the new ones and I enjoyed them.
Yeah,
but I'm not like stoked for this one either.
When you see it, you're like, yeah, okay, it'll probably be a good game. And I'm doing a disservice because I do think they're well-made games, and they're a lot like Uncharted, and I like Uncharted games.
Yeah.
But there's just something. There's something about it that I don't like.
I just don't. The whole open world gimmick of like going around and collecting a bunch of stuff and crafting stuff, like even Horizon Zero Dawn, I didn't really like it very much. I'm so over that gameplay mechanic, and that's why I love Uncharted, because you have guns and you run through and you blast things and you get story, and it's
you kill 100 dudes and then you advance the story.
Yeah, exactly.
Nathan Drake is a wanted mass murderer. And then we got our first look at Kingdom Hearts 3. This trailer was not great.
Which one was this?
So it was the first one you see where it cuts between. It shows you Frozen. That was the big announcement from this one. Frozen is actually confirmed in Kingdom Hearts, which I think everyone was talking about. That was going to be a thing just because Frozen's so big.
Right.
But then the sound was so weird during these trailers. Like, did you guys notice that?
They just had the music like cranked up all the way.
All you could hear was like the voice actors, and then Utada Hikaru when she was singing in the background, singing her new Kingdom Hearts song, and it was just like this is not doing it for me.
It was so jarring. I mean, you're just not used to to hearing something like that. I mean, usually they're very well produced and stuff. It was just like, I was like, wow, this is awful. I cannot believe that this is happening right now.
It was like super like it's just like there was like a deafening like just quietness in between cut scenes and stuff because all you would hear is like, no, Sora, don't.
Yeah.
Help me. And it's like, oh gosh, this is bad. It's almost as if they just played the voice recordings and just called it a day. But cool to see. Did we get a release date for Kingdom Hearts?
Yeah.
December?
I think it's February.
February next year.
I mean, is there
Yeah,
any way that
January
this game can live up to the hype that I mean, it's been
Probably
so
not.
long.
No, it's just like The Last Guardian, where like it's been in development for way too long, and there's no way. However, I just saw Incredibles 2, and I thought that was pretty dang good.
I
That's
mean, I'm gonna play Kingdom Hearts 3. Like I've been waiting for this for 10 years. I'm super excited about it. But
Even if it sucks.
oh yeah, I'll play it if it sucks.
Yeah. Well, there's your answer, Tyler Moore. He was saying today, he's like, guys, I have a bad feeling that Kingdom Hearts 3 is gonna be a bad game.
It might be.
It's like, don't you put that curse on us. And then we saw Gears of War 5, which was also a surprising announcement. To get Halo and Gears of War in the same conference was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
And this one actually had a lot of story that they were giving us, where you're playing as, it looks like a female lead now. You're getting rid of Marcus and that whole crew, and you're trying to figure out what's going on with her. She's like tied to the Locusts somehow, and there's something to figure out there. So it looks cool.
Yeah, it looks like they kind of took a page out of Uncharted 4's book, and it's a little more serious of a tone than the past Gears of War games. So
Yeah.
it'll be interesting to see how that plays out.
I'm sure you'll still chainsaw bodies in half. And,
Of course.
You know, all that stuff. And it's curb stomp people, but,
Certainly.
at least as a woman now, which is pretty cool. And then I think really a great way to end out the conference with Cyberpunk 2077. And I don't have a trailer, which I'm really bummed about, but I just loved this trailer. It's going to be such a good game, I feel like.
Yeah, this is one of the top 3 games of the conference for me for sure. It just seems so cool.
Oh, yeah. And the world's already it looks like the world's very well built already.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I was like, where did this come from? Like,
Yeah.
it's just to drop footage like that. It just looks incredible.
Well, and have either of you played Witcher 3? Witcher?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I have very high confidence in this developer as well. Just
Yeah, me
knowing
too.
how good The Witcher was, I was like,
Yeah.
they can probably do this just as well.
They're gonna pull it off.
I mean, sci-fi and fantasy, you kind of, you can do one and you can probably do the other as well.
Right.
Yeah.
But it looks a lot like, I'm blanking on the name right now, the movie that just came out with like Harrison Ford and the squad.
Blade Runner.
Yeah, Blade Runner.
Yeah.
Like very Blade Runner vibes.
That's what it reminded me of too.
Mhm.
So excited to just see where that. I mean, we're not going to get that game probably until 2020, I imagine.
Yeah, it's possible that's a next console generation game
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. And also, I guess that should be noted, Microsoft came out on the stage and did say, we're working on the next Xbox console.
Yeah,
Wow.
Crimson code as like the code name, I guess.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, and they also, what I think was a strong move, and we'll go on to the next developer after this, was they announced, or they said that they're partnering with a ton of other developers to try and make sure that they're getting games in, and they have more third-party support coming in, and they're all about games now. Microsoft Studios is what they call
Right.
it. So good to see.
Took them long enough. I mean, they have a video game console machine. You think that would be important, but
Yeah, who knows?
yeah.
So Microsoft honestly was one of the most impressive conferences to me, just on a pure announcement basis, and how well paced it was. So for me, I'm gonna go ahead and set that at a tentative 1 right now. But there's some good conferences to talk about next. Mary, thanks so much for tuning in once again. The revered BitBay of bitbloggist.com. Thank you so much for being here. Up next, Bethesda. We don't have to spend much time on this conference because it was not great either. However, I thought it was really funny. They had Andrew WK come out, who I don't know what band is he a part of. I don't know where
his band's name is. It's just Andrew WK. They're just like party rock. Like I mean, he literally just like gets on the stage and he's super hype. And I've never seen. I'm not like a fan of him or anything, but normally he can get a crowd going pretty well. It was hilarious seeing the crowd's reaction. They were just not ready for a rock concert.
I mean, it was later. In I guess LA it wasn't as late, but for me, I was watching this thing at like 10 o'clock at night, and this guy's trying to hype the crowd up, and I'm already tired, and everyone in the crowd just does not look enthused. Like,
Right.
they're here to see games, and everyone's just kind of like sitting down in their seats, just watching him. Like, there were a few guys going,
exactly
doing this. So that was about it. That's all you got from most of the crowd.
But props to Andrew WK for not giving up. Like, he went hard the whole time.
He tried, man, and I saw him on those keys. He was rocking out. Dude.
Absolutely,
he was doing it. So they open with that for Rage 2. This game is basically just a mix mash of Mad Max and I don't know what else. Maybe Borderlands kind of in terms of like the art style where they're kind of all crazy looking and they have like bright colors. The game looks good. I can't say I'm too excited about it just because I don't know if this fits my play style. But the car combat really did sell me. Like when they showed
pretty cool.
And to their credit, they actually had gameplay.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you caught that or not, but like the car combat looked neat. Like there's like a lot of different weapons you have. You can fight each other, and like the races look pretty intense. So stay tuned on that. We'll see if it's any good.
A lot of Bethesda games, I usually I'll always play them, but I usually wait till they're like $20 and pick them up. A year later,
after they fixed a lot of the bugs.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
A lot of their games do come out very buggy, like Fallout, Skyrim. Like for the longest time, were just plagued by bugs,
right?
And people patched them. Like just actual players and gamers would go in and fix the games. But here's how to make it better.
Yeah, it's kind of what they're known for.
Yeah,
like, there's just so many funny glitches in the game.
Yeah. But Rage 2 looks cool, and I never played the original one, so I don't have much to go off of beyond just
I never
what I've
played
seen.
it either. I did play Mad Max, though. It was a lot of fun. The car combat's really great.
Yeah,
and it's the same developer, so.
And it was free last month, right? Mad Max.
For PS Plus, I believe it was. Yeah,
I missed that one. Dang it!
You need to stay on top of this.
Yeah, I know, because you can download them and you don't have to or you can buy them and you don't have to download them. That's
right.
I'm always just like I don't want to download it, but then I always forget you can just buy it and you have it forever.
Yeah,
stupid, man, stupid. Up next, they announced Doom Eternal. I don't know if this was there gameplay for this or not.
No, it was just like they took a camera through like the hell setting basically, and then you got like the logo, and that's about it.
Yeah. So cool. Glad to see it, and cool to see that
too.
they're putting on the Switch. Glad to see Bethesda supporting them as well. Did not expect a Prey update, but they did that, and I did not care about it. So we'll just skip to the next one. Wolfenstein Youngblood expansion co-op experience looks pretty dope. I have not played the new Wolfenstein, but I've heard great things about it. So
yeah, I'm gonna pick it up on Switch when it comes out. But
yeah. I wonder if Switch is the best place to play it at though, because graphically, I don't think it's still gonna hold up.
It's gonna take a hit for sure.
So, but I guess
I just rather have the portability.
Do you play the Switch on the go a lot?
I do, yeah, almost exclusively.
With Stardew right now, it is bad. Like I just take that thing into bed and I just sit there and play that all night.
Same here, man. At first it was Golf Story, and I just stay up way too late playing video games now.
When Octopath comes out, it's gonna be the same exact situation. Like the Switch is so good for those kinds of games. Just traditional RPGs with like pixel art. They look so good. For sure. I love it.
Yeah.
Then they talked a lot about Fallout 76. I am not a big Fallout guy, so for me, when they started talking about this, I kind of tuned out. But the game looks good. It looks like Fallout. It seems to be the same setting as the previous game, Fallout 4. It's in D.C., I think.
No, I think it takes place at a different time.
Is it in West Virginia?
I think so, yeah.
Is that why they're playing this song? West Virginia.
But yeah, I think it's supposed to take place like way before Fallout 4.
Yeah, it's a prequel to the main series.
So, I mean, the idea apparently is that they're a control unit, meaning that this Vault 76 was the only vault that did not have
some of the weird stuff,
some testing done to them. Because you played Fallout 4, Matt, and you liked it a lot.
Yeah, I loved it.
So are you excited about 76?
Yeah. I think I loved Fallout 4, but there were some pretty big flaws. Like the biggest flaw for me was the like dialogue choices were really, really repetitive, and you basically had very little control over the story and over like your character's decisions.
Right.
Where Fallout 3 had a really good karma system that I felt like you could actually become good or evil based on your choices. This one, they kind of took that away, and the dialogue was a little bit cheaper. So I think if they make it more interactive and you can influence stuff around you more, and it lends itself to different play styles, because Fallout 4 really boiled down to like, okay, do you want to do small weapons, big weapons, melee weapons, or it's
in this game specifically, the big part that's different is that it's going to be all online.
Yeah, that's
a
kicker. I'm not a big fan of that personally. That always scares me for some reason. I've just never been like a big online gamer.
You could have like a Sea of Thieves problem where everyone's just a dick, and as soon as you come out of the vault, they just like kill you. I'm sure they have things in place to prevent that from happening.
Right.
And they may have talked about it actually, but the idea is, you're all coming out of Vault 76, and it's all online. So people you see in the game will actually be like real people playing with you. And they said it's not going to be there's not going to be a ton of online people in your server. There's going to be like maybe just like 24, like 24 people.
Which that sounds kind of nice.
Yeah, that sounds about right. But if the game's huge, when are you ever going to see these people? That's the thing I'm kind of like questioning. It's like, okay, if the map's as big as Fallout 4 was, like, are you ever going to see the other 24 people in your game?
I don't know. Fallout 4 was the first Fallout I played, and I really loved it. So I'll probably wind up picking this up eventually, but I'm not near as excited as I should be, I feel like, you know. But if it was like Fallout 5, I would be super hyped.
Yeah. I want to learn more about it. I think they made Fallout 4 so big that there wasn't a ton of depth in a lot of places, I feel like. So, I mean, I loved Fallout 4, so hopefully...
I really didn't like the city building mechanic, though.
The Minecraft stuff?
That was not my favorite thing. I think that's coming back in 76, too.
But if they improve on it, it might be more enjoyable. But yeah, I kind of see what you're saying.
There's no, like, real big incentive to do it. That was the problem with 4. Exactly. It's like, I don't really care to do this. You don't have to do it.
And it's like your settlement's being attacked, and you have to go save it.
It's like, I don't care. They can take it. So, good to see that. And then we had some weird ones after this. You know, Fallout Shelter being available on PS4 and Switch, because it's like the anniversary when they announced it last year. So that was, or 2 years ago, I forget when it was. So that was cool. And then Elder Scrolls Blades, which was just a mobile game. TBH, this also looked kind of lame. So I was just like, well, you know, good for them for putting things everywhere and distributing themselves. But yeah, they when they talked about Blades, they lost me for sure. I was like,
And they talked about it forever.
Yeah, I was like,
this whole conference was so disjointed and just overlong and extremely awkward.
Yep.
What's the guy who came out for Fallout 76 and Elder Scrolls?
The super tall guy?
No. The guy that's actually good. Like,
Todd Howard?
Yeah, Todd Howard. He's the only highlight of that whole conference.
Oh, Todd was fantastic. Yeah. Bethesda probably had the most cringeworthy moments as well, just in terms of how bad all the presenters were.
I hate that so much.
I feel so bad for him, because you're getting guys that, like, are so intelligent that are making these amazing like games and just developing all this stuff all the time, but you put them in front of millions of people like online and in the conference, and like they don't know what to do. They're like, here's the game.
And when their teleprompter goes out, they just stand there.
Oh my gosh, did you
look at each other awkwardly?
I was talking to him about that. Did you see they had like the super tall like Goliath guy for Rage 2, and then like the other PR spokesperson who was like really short next to him. I was like, first of all, why'd you guys pick these two people to come talk about this? And then second, their teleprompter messed up, and so they were both just like, Rage 2.
No.
And like looking at each other, and it was a solid 10 seconds of them both just doing that, looking at each other going,
That's so painful.
Bad.
That's right, Dan. We're really excited for Rage 2 to come out, So but I do love those moments. And there's I think Donkey has a really good compilation video of like the cringiest moments. So we should watch that later.
I hate it.
Okay, so let's jump over to Square Enix. I did not give them enough time because honestly, their conference unfortunately fell victim to them literally giving every other developer before them their trailers.
Right.
So nothing was a surprise that we saw. We're like, oh, I saw this trailer yesterday or the day before. Now, I guess if you hadn't watched them, maybe it would have been cool.
And at least they did like the Nintendo thing where it was all quick. It was a pre-done conference.
Back to back to back, pretty easy.
Talking
but nothing really, honestly, like worth talking about. They spent a lot of time on Just Cause 4, and I'm not a big Just Cause guy. If I'm going to pick a game like that, that's like an open sandboxy game, I probably would have. I'm always going to go with
Far
Cry over.
Yeah.
So for me, this was a solid 5. Actually, I want to put them at a 6. Bethesda had a 5. Anything you guys want to say about Square? That doesn't.
I think we forgot to mention that Elder Scrolls 6 was announced as well.
So I had a whole bunch of Elder Scrolls in there, and I didn't know if that was just like the online or not. So Elder Scrolls 6 actually got announced.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is a big deal. Sorry, guys.
Blades.
People have been waiting for Elder Scrolls 6 for a long time.
They didn't give it. I mean, the trailer was just like panning over the world, kind of like a mountain range, basically. It looked like Lord of the Rings, but
and that's the problem. Like with all their Elder Scrolls Online and all that stuff they have, it all looks similar to me. So I may have just glazed over when they were talking about Elder Scrolls 6. I was like, oh, okay, this looks cool, I guess, whatever. So my bad. Yeah, thank you for bringing that up. I appreciate that. But Square didn't really have much that didn't get announced in other conferences. So
I don't know if I'm just noticing it more or if this is a recent trend, but the really, really vague teaser trailers and like just showing a logo at E3, have they always done that where they just show a picture of the logo and then you're supposed to get excited for that?
I feel like pictures have been a part of conferences for a while,
Yeah.
just the logo. But it could be worse now because I think there was a period of time where we didn't get that, where people were like didn't like when when developers would do that. So they were like, okay, we're only showing games now that we know what we have like footage for, and we can show them something more substantial.
And I feel like Nintendo's especially guilty of that, but it kind of plays to their favor because you don't expect these games to be on Switch. So they're like, we're going to get this and we're going to get that. And these people are on board and they're developing a game. Like
for them, it works.
Yeah, I think they could have used some more of that this year, but
but Nintendo had some hitters, man. I was actually pretty excited to see some of the stuff they talked about. Ubisoft, pretty quick. We can run through this. Just Dance 19, the opener was pretty awesome. Just big band, just going nuts.
That's pretty cool.
Beyond Good and Evil 2, the trailer I thought was so good. And again, I wish I could play it for you guys, but it's age restricted for some reason, which I didn't think there was anything bad in that trailer, but it might have been the curse or something like that.
Maybe,
I don't know. But I thought that trailer was so good, man.
Just great.
If that game does not at least have a fantastic story, I'm gonna be pretty bummed.
Yeah,
because they're building such a cool world with it. I'm just like, this is great. Like this is I want to play this game, but we don't know at all what this game looks like in terms of how it plays.
I tried to play the original maybe 3 or 4 years ago, and I got a little ways in, but I couldn't beat it.
Yeah, I never beat it, but I've played that game like 2 or 3 times. I really enjoy it. I love the world that it's built, and it's always got like sidetracked towards the end. But
yeah,
I still consider it to be like a game that I really like, though. So I'm super stoked about this.
Yeah, so Beyond Good and Evil 2, check that one out. Just a whole bunch of different.
Was that rumored at all, or was that completely out of the blue?
They announced it last.
They announced it last year. This was like an extended, in-depth trailer, kind of giving us more context. And the girl at the end they showed, I don't know. They knew her name.
That was Jade.
Jade,
that's the main
protagonist
from the first one. Okay, that's why it was a big deal. I was like, I don't know who that is.
Yeah, it was like those two characters kind of reuniting. It seemed like,
okay,
but she's gone evil.
But I was under the impression that this was a prequel, though, but that didn't make any sense. Her coming up, like
or
that.
maybe that's how they became friends. She attacked them originally.
Maybe
and then
she's time traveling.
She saved them. Who knows? And then Assassin's Creed Odyssey. So when I think this had leaked that they were going to talk about this beforehand, and I was like, okay, great, more Assassin's Creed. The game looks good.
Yeah.
I like the setting. I like Greece as a place that they're at. I like the Spartan situation going on there. How you can play as a girl or a guy, and this one's really cool. Or maybe I think you're playing as multiple different characters. I can't remember exactly how they set that up. And they had legitimate gameplay to run through that looked really clean. Ubisoft's a talented developer. They can crank these games out and make them look good.
I haven't played those games in so long.
Neither have I.
Origins has got me like I kind of want to play that one still. I just wish I hate annual installments. You get so far behind, and then it's like, oh, I'm never going to touch that series again. There's just too much to make up. So
yeah, well, and it's sorry, I heard something. I might have been in a car outside. I don't know. It's kind of like same with Star Wars. You know, we're getting Star Wars every single year, or in this case, like 6 months after the mainline one.
Jeez.
And you get kind of tuckered out. You're like, and that's I like to believe that's why Solo didn't do as well in the box office.
Fatigue.
Yeah.
Star Wars
which
fatigue.
makes me sad because I loved Solo. I thought it was so good.
Still haven't seen it.
Oh man, you gotta see it. You gotta see it.
I would definitely.
I want to see it again.
Yeah. Well, we'll just we'll go. Do you have movie pass?
No, I need to get it.
Come on, man.
I know.
They showed The Division 2, which I think it had gotten announced actually at the Microsoft conference, and then they gave us more I like what they're doing, trying to kind of get some more story built into this, but the gameplay didn't really sell me on this one. Just from what I've seen, it looks very much like The Division. So I was like, okay, yeah. And again, in a world full of Destiny-like games now, where they're just going to release a base game and then kind of add DLC expansions over and over again, I have a hard time getting excited for those until I know how well they built the world around them, because they feel almost shallow when you get into them.
Yeah.
So, Division 2, cool to see. Skull and Bones. This was the Sea of Thieves kind of realistic version, where you're playing as pirates on sea, and you have different ships, and it's all online as well, where you're competing against other people out in the area. You got to go find gold from other ships that might have it or underwater, and you try to bring it back. Now, they did take some notes, though, about Sea of Thieves, how people were getting dicked over, and like as soon as they would start, like people would just kill them, or like they would wait till they came into the port and then they would just kill them and then take all their stuff. So they're making it a bit more friendly for people to come in and play this game. But I thought the trailer was super impressive. They had, it was actual gameplay.
What really did it for me too is that like when we last saw it, it was just ship combat, and I was like, this is not like a $20 title. I don't want anything to do with it. But they showed like you can get your character like walking out on ports and stuff, and the ports look great. And
that's cool.
I don't know. I love like pirate settings, so
it hasn't been done very well, I don't think.
I agree. Yeah.
There's a big opportunity there, I feel like.
Yeah, not a lot of pirate games. So I mean, like, just give me like Pirates of the Caribbean without the title, obviously, and give me a pirate world to kind of go do some stuff.
Interesting places to sail to, and interesting random encounters out and sea. I mean, that'd be great.
Yeah. Black Flag kind of had some of that, Assassin's Creed, but it wasn't as developed. And then Sea of Thieves, I think, is cool, but it is a more shallow experience, unfortunately.
Right.
But they did announce that they have some, in the Xbox conference, they have some DLC coming out for that as well. So
that was a pretty cool expansion trailer also.
And then this one was kind of an I did not see this coming. Starlink Battle for Atlas.
Yeah.
This game looks awesome.
I got a little trailer here for us. I think this is 3. Let's find out. So just a surprise to see Star Fox in this game.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And I don't think you have to buy the toy ships to play this, but I kind of want to.
Yeah, I was thinking that myself, but I don't really want the ships, to be honest. I don't need any more stuff in my house.
Yeah.
But I want to play the game. It looks great.
You don't want the Star Fox ship? You don't want the R-Wing?
Well, no, that would tempt me.
Yeah.
Because I am a Nintendo nerd, but
I did not see this coming at all.
Yeah,
it was so great.
It looks incredible.
Ubisoft's gotten in, man. They've actually gotten in there and said, "Hey, we're gonna, support Nintendo, and we're gonna partner with them and see, how far we can take this." So they've gotten Mario, which was a big win.
Right.
They got Star Fox. They got Donkey Kong in their Mario plus Rabbids DLC, which looks great, by the way. But I'm just super excited to see Nintendo do more of that, where they give their IP to people and say, "Hey, do what you want to do with it. Make something cool happen." But I don't think this DLC for Star Fox is going to be anything special. But
yeah, it's Switch exclusive. But yeah, we'll see what it does. But it's just cool to have them in a game.
Mm-hmm. I know we can pretend like we got a new Star Fox game.
Yeah. And it looks like a Star Fox game.
It does.
That's the funny part. Like, there's the rumors of Star Fox Grand Prix coming out. Did you guys hear about that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It sounds actually like a pretty cool idea. So if that's actually a real thing,
that's like F-Zero mashed up with Star Fox.
Yeah.
That would be so cool.
Yeah, I think it's
and
good.
Diddy Kong Racing. Like, there's apparently like an overworld that you have to do like
adventure modes and stuff.
So,
That'd be incredible.
So down. All right, so Ubisoft, I feel like had a pretty good conference. It was well conducted. There weren't a ton of awkward moments. Beyond Good and Evil 2 was a great trailer, and they had a lot of gameplay they could show people. They were like, "Hey, these are the games we're actually."
And the best moment of the conference was the Trials.
Gosh,
the Trials guy came out there and just owned the stage. It was hilarious. I was like, "Oh my gosh, this guy is."
That
ridiculous.
was Ubisoft, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh gosh, the Trials guy was hilarious.
Yeah. I mean, that's just. I mean, you don't see game directors. We were talking about it earlier. They're just like they're not used to talking to people. But he just like he might have been coked out of his head, but he was like so ready to take.
He was having
a
great time.
Yeah, he was.
And I love how like the podium was set to obviously break down.
Right,
That was,
of course.
That was goofy. The guy loves Trials, man. He loves Trials.
No question.
Up next, Sony on June 11th. So that was a Monday. And their conference, while I think, I would say it's probably the second strongest for me just because of the announcements they had. And honestly, it's almost first for me because they had more games that I cared about.
Yeah, it's definitely first for me. And there's a lot of backlash against the way they set it up, because they had it in one venue, and then after they showed the Last of Us bit, they moved it, and it took like 20 minutes for them to get to the other spot. But I thought it was a really cool idea. I don't think it was executed well, but I commend them for trying something new, because these E3 conferences they're hard to watch.
Dude, I mean, so to kind of preface this, they opened up the stream with people sitting in what appeared to be like a church-like, banquet hall situation with a bunch of lights. So real people were actually sitting in this banquet hall, and it was dressed up like it. They had a guy come out and play banjo, which was the opening music for The Last of Us.
Mm-hmm.
So we knew it was coming. And what was really cool was it transitioned into a trailer, and it was the direct replica of like The Room almost. So that was a cool transition.
Was super cool.
Mm-hmm.
And so I mean, they jumped into Last of Us 2, and I thought by far this was like one of the best trailers I had seen.
Easily, yeah, definitely my game of show. Like
it just, oh gosh, I mean. So it starts out with Ellie, and I'm assuming her girlfriend at this point. Spoilers if you guys haven't played Last of Us, the DLC expansion. But they're dancing, and it cuts to them kissing, and then it has this cool transition where it switches from behind her head, and then it goes right into her stabbing some guy in the neck.
Yeah, and it's like the grisliest trailer I've ever seen.
To kind of show a
raw
disparity between, hey, here's like the warmth that is happening, but here's also the darkness that's going on at the same time.
Yeah, it's a pulse pounding trailer. Like it is intense.
Yeah, even so, Hannah was watching that, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, so intense." She's like,
"Oh, because she really liked the first game."
Yeah, Hannah loved The Last of Us, so for us to watch this was really cool. Did you guys notice the animations in this game?
Oh yeah, I mean, how could you not? It's just there were so many of them too.
Yeah.
Every enemy had a different one.
Yeah, there were. I mean, and part of me is worried that like this was a sort of staged demo because it was almost so fluid that like I couldn't believe it. But
yeah,
I mean, they did that when they showed off the first Last of Us too.
Yeah, The Last of Us was so impressive for what it was that I mean, it could be a real situation.
I mean, I think it's gonna look just like that, but you're gonna be dying every 5 minutes.
Yeah,
yeah.
And you're gonna have less bullets probably. But like the one thing I noticed is, when she got hit, she actually like turned and like grabbed her arm. I was like, and like had to like go run and hide somewhere, and just like the dynamic moments of that guy leaning down to like look underneath the bus and shoots him in the face, and then she gets pulled out from underneath the bus.
Yeah,
and I'm like, what if she didn't hide underneath that bus? Like, what would the cutscene look like?
Yeah, I don't even.
Maybe
know.
you have to. I don't know. But I just think the game looks so good, and it's setting it up for like, okay, Ellie is clearly super pissed. She's killing a lot of people. Joel is not in the picture yet. However, he did get mentioned, I think, by
that
the guy,
leader,
ex-boyfriend or something like that. Something about old man or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think he's still alive.
Right.
We just don't know where he is yet.
Yeah.
So, no, opening with this was awesome. And then they had this weird intermission in between that trailer because they had to move everyone from the cool room that they were in for Last of Us to the just presentation room where they had everything else announced. And there was like a weird downtime where we like went to go talk to Sean Layden and a couple of the other like devs, and they were just talking about Call of Duty.
Yeah, and then they recapped, like they soft announced like 5 different things throughout the week. And they just recapped that whole bit. So if you'd
like
actually been following E3, which most people had, I feel like who are watching that,
they knew.
You already know that, and
They're
it's
like, okay,
come on,
cool.
you're just wasting our time.
But they had to. I mean, they had to like just fill time, and then and then they didn't know when they were ready yet. So it's like, okay, I think we're almost ready. They're like, nope. Okay, I guess we have one more announcement then, and they just like keep talking about Call of Duty. So it was. I mean, it was an awkward transition, but once they got into the next room, I think they again had just some really good showings for games. So Ghost of Tsushima, we knew about this game. These are the guys, Sucker Punch, that made Infamous and stuff like that.
Sly Cooper.
This game looks beautiful.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
That was like one of the best parts about this. I think gameplay-wise, I'm not sure how exciting it's going to be.
Right.
Because you're just kind of slashing dudes and just running around on a horse. But when he was cutting across that field, like through like the rice fields and stuff, I was like, this game looks amazing.
Oh yeah, and I'm like kind of a big like Kurosawa fan, and I love like some of those old samurai movies, and I think they paid some homage to a lot of those films,
Oh,
like
yeah.
just with the way they shot that trailer and everything. And it's
Mhm.
like I am super geeked for that all of a sudden, and I had no interest in it coming out.
Neither did
coming
I.
out of that.
Yeah, it makes me want to get a PS4 Pro and an HDR TV so I can like really enjoy how good it looks.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm like, this game's probably gonna chug on my PS4 because just
Right.
looking at how the frame rate was like getting hit a little bit on the demo, I was like, my PS4 is not gonna handle this.
Right. Although God of War played quite well on my PS4, to be honest.
Played fine on mine too,
Yeah.
but my friend Josh Termino, shout out, his PS4 sounded like it was gonna blow up when I played God of War on it.
Really?
Yeah, it sounded like an airplane taking off. I was like,
I don't even know. My sound system's so high when I play God of War, it could probably be like about to explode.
you got that
I wouldn't even
sound
know.
system. I see you, dog.
Oh yeah.
I have to put headphones on most of the time because it's
very
just too
nice.
loud. Yeah. So this game looks super good. Excited for that. September 4th, we got a release date for that. So this game is almost ready, which is exciting.
Mhm.
We got a cool sneak peek of Remedy's next game, Control, which looked cool. It looked like a game that I'd probably check out. You know, you have like kinetic power, not kinesis powers, where you're levitating things and killing people a lot. So
Yeah.
that's cool. One thing I saw across all of E3 was like, man, a lot of these games are just killing a lot of people.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's like there was not a lot of like good indie titles where they were just like, hey, here's this cool idea. Here's this cool idea. It was like, oh, you're just gonna murder a lot of people. You
Right.
know? It's like, okay, I guess we're doing that.
We did get that Ori and the Blind Forest.
a little break. Yeah.
Or not Blind Forest. What was it? What's it called? Ori and the Will-O-Wisps.
Wisps.
Yeah, I'm pretty stoked about
The
that.
Wisps. I hate that SPS. And then we had a cool announcement from Capcom, Resident Evil 2 remake, which looks awesome.
Yeah. I was blown away by this.
I'm so pumped for
I
this
thought
game.
the voice acting was incredible.
Mm-hmm.
It actually looked scary.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I mean, did you play Resident Evil 7?
I did not, but I want to. I will eventually.
No.
I think you might have watched us play it one time.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't play it.
Resident Evil 7 was great, like for 3/4 of the game.
Mhm.
And if any indication of Resident Evil 2 is pretty much all kind of what the 7 was in the start, where you're creeping around the house trying to figure out what's going on, and there's like obviously zombies there. So super pumped about this game.
I'm excited because I've never played Resident Evil 2.
I haven't either.
I played the first one, and then I played 4. Obviously,
I played
amazing.
Yeah, I played 1, 4, and 7. Those are the ones that I've played also.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
me
played
too.
5. It wasn't very good.
Yeah, 5 was, I heard, more of an action game than
Yeah.
anything. But it's coming out January 25th next year, which is like way sooner than I thought we were going to get this game. Now, do you think they're going to hold to that release date?
I mean, it's basically just a remake, so I mean, they have the foundation already.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You just got to pull it together.
Well, it's not just a remake. I mean, it's a full remaster. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I'm excited because I feel like Resident Evil is getting re-released
Mhm.
every other year.
Yeah. Capcom surprisingly has been doing a lot better lately. You know, with Mega Man 11 coming out pretty soon too.
Mm-hmm.
Like that game looks awesome.
Yeah.
I'm a big Mega Man
Devil
fan.
May Cry 5.
Devil May Cry
they had
5.
a pretty good showing this year.
They're doing it, man. They're freaking doing it. And I failed to mention this, and this may have been in the Square Enix conference. Do you guys? What was the name of the game? Was it just Shonen Jump or Shonen something?
The anime crossover.
Yeah, where it was just
I
like
think it's just called Jump.
every childhood dream where you're like Goku versus Naruto versus Frieza versus I think they had like Luffy from One Piece and Death
Right.
Note and all these different anime characters. I was like, that's pretty cool.
That is cool. Yeah, it doesn't do much for me, but
Yeah.
I'm sure that a lot of people.
I'm not a fighting
are
game
very
person,
happy.
but
Me neither.
it looks great. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
like, that's a cool idea. So good to see that coming out. And then we had a Kingdom Hearts 3 trailer, which I think was a better trailer. You can check it out here if it pulls up. So the previous ones, we didn't really get a lot of story, or like just they were like, hey, here's Frozen, yay, everyone's happy. But this one, you got a good depth of view for how the graphic style changed, which I liked a lot.
Right.
I mean, it's so cool. Which each world you're in, you're going to kind of mimic what those characters kind of look like in real life. So if you look at like Jack Sparrow and a couple of the cast members when they come up, they look pretty realistic. I was pretty impressed with this trailer. Yeah, there he's right there.
I honestly came away. Everything I saw from Kingdom Hearts, not heard, looked pretty good. Like I think the game looks like it's going to be pretty great. I really wish that the gummy ship thing was not existent anymore. But
Yeah,
other than that, I mean, this looks awesome.
more ship combat, kind of
Yeah.
like Skull and Bones, kind of doing that pirate thing there. But no, the game just looks really cool. And this trailer, I think, gave us a better idea of,
Like combat looks.
combat looks like, how because I think in the other ones we didn't really see as much combat. It was more like, hey, here's some characters and here's Frozen. This one we're getting a better look at what's going on. I mean, he's in the water. I mean, I wonder how open this game actually is. I mean, you can fly around on things. You get this game looks nuts.
Yeah, it does.
It just overall just looks pretty wild. Sorry, it's so distracting when you can like watch that on the TV.
Oh, I know,
like,
really.
Oh, this is cool. I'll watch this again.
And I mean, the Wreck-It Ralph world. Like, I'm so excited to get in that.
It's gonna be so
It's
good.
gonna be amazing. They could do a lot of cool things with that too.
But no, I think Kingdom Hearts 3. This was a good trailer. Good to see that at least. I was very surprised to see Microsoft get this trailer first. So
Right.
But the fact that we got a maybe better one was good. Was consolable for me. Death Stranding got shown, and we actually got some sort of what the game looks like. What'd y'all think? Some sort of idea what the game looks like.
Kojima is crazy. It looked like a walking simulator. Like,
Yeah.
basically, you just transport packages across crazy terrain, and
Hopefully, don't get
Crazy
seen.
things happen.
yeah,
It looked pretty
get
boring.
to peel off toenails. That was the most cringe-inducing moment of E3.
So somebody had, I forget who I was talking to about this, but they had a good theory about what the baby is in this game.
Okay.
And they said because time is how they kill you, that like the baby is Norman Reedus is like clone or something like that. So if he dies, if he gets aged really fast, then the baby that's attached to him either will grow up or will just, turn back into him eventually, and like it kind of starts over. The cycle starts over again.
That's nuts.
Interesting.
Which kind of made sense. I was like,
Yeah.
if their power is aging people to death, like maybe that's what the babies are all about. There are people that are trying to, I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like this game's going to be all about pacing because I think The Last of Us had some of the best pacing I've seen in a game. Like it would go from a really intense action scene to like these really quiet moments that really progressed the story and
Right.
it didn't feel boring at all.
Yeah.
So if Death Stranding strikes a good balance between these like kind of slow, quiet moments to like these really
Nuts
frenetic,
moments.
yeah.
I think he will, but we're not going to see this game, I think, until like 2021 or 2020. Because it's just like, it's not a game right now. It's just like, okay, you're sneaking around with a backpack on.
Yeah.
Looks pretty cool, I guess. So, Hiking Simulator 2019. Neo 2 got announced. Cool. More of a Dark Souls-y kind of game. Very difficult, but again, has a samurai aesthetic as well. So, in a world where we have Neo and the first one, Sekiro or whatever it was called,
Sekiro,
Shadows
I think
Die
you did it.
Twice. Let me see if I can remember this. Come on. I don't know where it is. Oh yeah, Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice. I was right. Just a lot of samurais. A lot of samurais right now.
Trending.
Good to see. And then we got an in-depth trailer from Spider-Man, which I thought was super dope.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
I was very excited to see this. I hope this is trailer 7.
Is this right? September 4th,
Trailer
Ghost of Tsushima, and then September 7th, Spider-Man?
Who knows? September is going to be a rowdy month.
Yeah, that's going to be really rowdy.
So, what did y'all think of this trailer?
I thought it was amazing.
Oh, yeah.
It
It's
just
so good.
reminds me of the older Spider-Man games so much.
Spider-Man
and like,
2.
Yeah. Or even the 64 game, if you ever played that, because you fought against Rhino and Scorpion and all those guys.
Yeah, I think this game just looks just phenomenal.
It really does.
I love it's a mix between having freedom to kind of combat the way you want, but with like really doctored cinematic scenes, kind of like
Right.
Uncharted, where
Oh, yeah.
you are supposed to go through a car chase scene, and there's always actions you have to kind of put in, but the in between, I love where he's like slinging his rope and having to catch back up to him, and
Yeah.
the combat slows down, and you get into the jail in this cutscene.
Yeah, I thought the combat in this part looked really, really good. Just the aerials and stuff.
So many things you can do with people. Like you can like
Yeah.
sling them up to the wall and like stick them to the wall, or he had that like spinning crazy move where he jumped in the air and just shot web everywhere and
Yeah.
knocked everyone out. It just looks really great, and I imagine that this is the opener that we're seeing right now, where
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Did they confirm that there was going to be other suits in the game too? That's
yeah, like
so cool.
Iron Spider-Man is in it, and Miles Morales is in it as well.
Probably get a little
interesting.
symbiote
Yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah.
This just looks like such good combat.
Who do you think the main bad guy is at the very end?
I have no idea.
They didn't show
I don't know either.
Goblin. They didn't show the Goblin.
Oh yeah, that'd be a good
Green
guess.
Goblin. They didn't show Doc Ock either, so could be. But they had some cool guys come out. You know, we had Rhino, we had
Scorpion,
Vulture.
Who's the all white guy?
I don't know.
I've never seen him before.
Or he's
Mysterio or
no, I don't know if that was him.
I can't remember exactly his name. I'm not sure how much of a trailer I'm allowed to show. I think you're allowed to talk about it the entire time as long as it's commentary or something like that.
Yeah,
I forget how it works.
Fair use.
I don't want to get sued. Yeah.
What about Venom and Carnage? And I mean, there's a lot of. Hopefully, they bring all the villains in.
Kingpin.
Mm-hmm.
I hope that they just do like DLC releases, like in story like releases, or maybe even like kind of going with the comic book route, like new comic is available or something like that, and it's a full story, like running you through how it happens, and he kidnaps somebody and to go save him.
I have extremely high hopes for this game. Though.
Yeah, I think it'd be great. And Insomniac is a great developer. They're gonna do well.
I mean, if you look at like Ratchet and Clank remaster, how good that was, it's like it's gonna be a good game.
Extremely.
So that was Sony, and then last but certainly not least, Nintendo. Now, I don't think Nintendo's conference was as exceptional as I had hoped it would have been.
Yeah,
definitely not.
Because again, comparative to last year's E3 where they announced Metroid and all these other big games and big titles, they didn't do it this time. I was expecting to see something from Metroid or just a little bit more about some of the stuff we talked about. Yoshi, we didn't even hear about what was going on with Yoshi because it's definitely not going to be ready by 2018 anymore.
Right. What Retro's doing?
Yeah,
just confirm what.
Yeah, just tell us. We all know that they're doing the racing game. Just
right.
Give us the logo or something, with like a racing noise in the background. But jumping into this, so they talked about Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I didn't play Xenoblade Chronicles 2, so
I beat it. It was good, but
not great.
Not great at all. Yeah, definitely had a lot of flaws.
Very dense, from what it appears.
Extremely dense. Yeah, I think. I was like 50 hours into it, and I was like, well, I guess I'm going to do this because I'm already 50 hours in. And it wound up being like 85 hours long.
Oh, my gosh.
Like, just like unnecessarily dense,
Oh, yeah.
Like most JRPGs, kind of.
Exactly.
Comes out in September, so look out for that if you're a big XC2 fan. I think that's what the cool kids call it.
Very nice.
Pokemon Let's Go Eevee and Pikachu. So we actually haven't podcasted since this got announced, but game looks cool.
Yeah.
It does. It looks great.
I like that it's Kanto, so it's the original ones that we played, yellow, red, and blue, specifically more like yellow. But they took away, battling at least in terms of battling Pokemon to level up and get experience. It's now just strictly catching Pokemon to level up, kind of like Pokemon Go. So it is a weird hybrid of those games.
Yeah.
And while I think this is going to be good, it seems like it's going to be a pretty straightforward experience.
I think it'll be pretty easy compared to some of the other ones, which they're all pretty easy, to be honest.
Yeah.
But I don't know there's going to be as much depth, but I'm not like a hardcore Pokemon player. I've played, maybe 1 out of every 3 games.
Right.
Yeah.
And I enjoy it, but I'm definitely excited to go back to Kanto. I think that'll be fun.
Yeah.
A little nostalgia.
Quick shout out to Joseph Campbell. Thanks for tuning in. Mary and Hannah, thanks so much for commenting on here. Hannah said, I like Sony's tent and changing location for the experience. Microsoft seemed more like movie trailers with great music and a cool background. She said she also liked that PlayStation honed in on their stores of their main games. Look at Hannah just spitting out some game knowledge there.
Nice. I agree.
She's also said that Bethesda sucked.
She watched everything?
She watched some. She was in and out of rooms.
In and out.
She didn't like Bethesda last year, so she just remembered how bad they were. She's like, they're terrible. So I appreciate her supporting me, but I want that Pokeball.
Yeah.
That's all I want. I just want the Pokeball. I don't even know if I want the game that much.
It sounds like there's one in there.
Yeah.
It's the legendary Pokemon Mew.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. It comes with Mew.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can control your character with it. It has a joystick on top, like where the button is.
Yeah, it kind of looks like fun to play the game that way.
Yeah. Clever design, just in general. Like I think it's only 2 buttons. It's the joystick and then the button on top of the Pokeball, and that's it. I don't know. As a kid, that's like my dream to be able to just have a Pokeball and like actually feel like there's a Pokemon inside. It has HD Rumble, so if you have a Pokemon in there, it feels like there's one
It'll
inside.
be jumping around or something.
I guess so. I have no idea. Who knows what actually a Pokeball feels like.
So are you gonna go Pikachu or are you gonna go Eevee?
Pikachu.
I'm going Eevee.
I might, yeah.
Why are you going to Eevee?
Because it's never been done before.
Agreed. And
can
Eevee's
you evolve
freaking
it?
adorable. What'd you say?
Can you evolve?
No, you
Eevee?
cannot evolve it.
What?
Yeah,
Yeah,
see,
that's
why.
kind of
Okay, that's kind of dumb.
Eevee's
Yeah,
a
that's
lame
super dumb.
Pokemon.
You can't evolve Pikachu. either.
Jolteon's one of my favorite Pokemon in the competitive meta. So like, if that was the case, I'd be like, oh, okay, yeah, well, I'll pick Eevee because he's way better than Pikachu. But no, not the case.
No.
Not the case. But I like that you can ride around Pokemon too. Like, it looks cool. You can like
Yeah.
fly on Charizard if you want. And I think the aesthetic is neat. I don't love the chibi rope, like the chibi style they went
Yeah.
with still. But I'm glad to see it is a 3-dimensional game, you know, with textures. And like when they were in the forest kind of doing a playtest demo, it was cool to see like, oh, there's actually Pokemon in the grass. You can kind of see them in the grass. You
Yeah,
can walk
and I
up
hope
to
they
'em.
keep that for the main series too.
Yeah.
That seems like a necessary evolution.
No word about the main series Pokemon other than the fact that it's going to be out next year. Yeah. Which
when does this one come out?
November
November
16th.
So they're probably going to try to ride this thing out as long as possible before taking away attention.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's a good in between right now. So I'm excited about this, and I'll definitely pick it up because it's Pokemon. So whatever. Cool little surprise announcement, and I'm very, very glad that they did this.
Yeah.
Because I think this makes perfect sense on the Switch. So we got a little trailer for this as well. I think. Super Mario Party.
Yep.
And it's
Yeah, I'm
coming
so
out.
stoked about
It's
this.
coming out October 5th, which looks. I mean, this is just perfect. It's got all the things you want, you know. And I think they're going to show it here in a second, where they're turning the switches. Yeah,
This is so cool.
that blows my mind.
Watch when they swipe. They swipe across the screens, and
goes
that's what syncs it up.
Oh, is that what
You see that?
Oh, that's how they
Yeah.
did it. That's how they did it.
I guess.
Because I was so confused. I was like, there is no Switch technology that can communicate with another Switch and say, hey, here, this one's positioned here on this screen, and this one's positioned here. So when
Right.
they showed that, I was like,
I remember reading, like, you remember, like, before the NX was the Switch, and, like, every 2 weeks there'd be, like, a new patent out. And
Right.
I remember them, like, putting, like, two-screen technology, like, merging it
oh,
together.
they did do that.
There-
Yeah.
And, like, I was like, what is this going to be? And,
Yeah.
so I guess this is what it was for.
And it's as simple as a swiping. What I love about this, though, is it's not Mario Party 10 where you're stuck in the same car with somebody.
Oh, my gosh.
The games look great.
Yep.
They don't all look waggle based, which I appreciate.
Yeah.
There are going to be some waggle based games, I think. But all in all, there's like a great mix here, and it just makes so much sense because all a person needs to play is a Joy-Con as well.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
you just need one
Yeah.
basically, and then you can play the entire thing.
Yeah, it looks so great. This one looks so frustrating.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's
I
a,
don't wanna
yeah,
play
that one looks super annoying. Yeah. But overall, man, I just this was a cool surprise announcement, and because we're getting it so early, I was stoked to find that out.
Oh,
I was
yeah,
like,
me
oh
too.
great, I got
been wanting that.
my October is set now, and it makes sense on Switch. You can take it with you like a board game, where you can just set it
Absolutely.
down and say, "Hey, we're playing Mario Party."
Yeah, that's one game that I'll probably be playing on my Switch for the rest of that console's lifespan.
Yeah, that's a for sure hard download to the console.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I've
and
just
Smash Bros.
I've missed Mario Party. Like I haven't had fun playing Mario Party in a long time.
The only ones that are
Nobody
fun
has.
are the ones on 64.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Mario
mean,
2. What was it? 1 and 2.
2 and 3 very
2 and
good.
3, okay,
Yeah.
Yeah. So hopefully this is the revival.
I hope so too, man. It looks good from what I can see. So,
But yeah, Thanksgiving, Christmas, this is all I want to do.
Yeah,
can't wait.
Same here.
Can't wait. We should have like a launch party where like when it comes out, we all can just have a board game night or a Mario Party
Yeah,
night.
It'd be
that
so
sounds-
much fun.
That sounds necessary.
Yeah.
We should definitely do
We'll
that.
start by playing Mario Party 2 and then transition to Mario Party 10 or whatever this one is.
Very nice.
Super Mario Party. We got some news about Fire Emblem finally. We knew there was a mainline game coming. This game looks good. I'm not a big Fire Emblem guy.
I played Awakening, and that game was awesome.
Yeah. I think people like them a lot,
Yeah.
but I'm not a big tactics guy.
Was that one on the Wii?
The Awakening was the first 3DS one.
Oh, okay.
And I had never played a Fire Emblem game before, and I absolutely loved it. I never played a tactics game before.
Wow.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, the game looks great, and it seems like they've come a decent way with it because they actually had gameplay footage to show us, and it's coming in the spring 2019. So I think this is good news. I mean, more games on the Switch is
Yeah.
good news for me.
Is this the one that had like the armies with?
Mhm.
Yeah.
That looked a little weird to me.
Yeah.
I thought the characters around the main
Yeah.
characters looked pretty.
That's
terrible.
that's not been in other ones. Usually, you just control your one character, and I'm interested to see how that's going to play
Yeah,
out.
control armies. Yeah. Well, you like Advance Wars, and so I imagine this
I
game
do.
might be okay. Like
Yeah.
if you end up trying to pick it up. So, Fortnite Switch got announced, and it was one of those cool ones where it's available today.
Right.
At like 10 or 12 or something like that
Actually played Fortnite for the first time
on your
like
Switch.
extensively. Yeah.
What'd you
past
think?
2 or 3 days. I actually really like it a lot. I'm not very good at it at all. I think I killed like 3 people in like 20 games, but I like running around that world is fun.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about it too. Like I like the game all right. I'm not good at it, so I don't feel motivated all the time to play it. I'm just like I don't want to spend, because the problem with Fortnite for me is that you spend 20 minutes staying alive, and then you get down to like 18 and you die, and you're like, cool, that sucks, I lost.
Yeah.
And start all over again, and I'm like, it's just that's a big punishment. Like
Yeah.
I'm investing this much time, and then there's a good chance I'm gonna lose still.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't expect I'll ever win a match, but it's nice that they have little season challenges and stuff.
Yeah.
So
It
keeps it interesting.
If you just hide maybe in a bush the entire time, which that's not really a game at that point.
Right.
I'm just gonna just sit here and just hope I don't get seen by people.
For some reason, I'm just drawn to the Switch version more. I don't know if it's just the novelty of it because it's a Nintendo console, but
I think having it on the go is nice.
having it on the go, and
play it on
then
a screen.
the Pro controller actually feels really good for it.
Oh yeah, Pro Controller I'm sure would be great for Fortnite.
Yeah. So I might actually try to get good and try to see what happens.
Well, it's easier to get good probably against Nintendo players.
I know.
As opposed to like PC.
Yeah, we got to play now before everyone gets used to it.
Yeah.
Get in quick.
It's crossplay with PC though. So you play with PC people.
That's when you're getting quick scoped and
Yeah, but with Rocket League you can like switch it off to where it's just Switch only. I need to do that.
Yeah.
If that's an option.
Up next, Overcooked 2. Love the first one.
Yeah.
Excited about this. Looks like more Overcooked. Not much to say about it, honestly, beyond the fact that I'm excited it's coming out, and it's coming out in August, so we'll get that soon. My favorite announcement, almost, was this next one, Killer Queen Black.
Yeah, I'm so stoked about this.
Which is so awesome. Like, and I love that Switch and only PC are getting it right now. It's like,
that feels great.
how did Nintendo work that out? Like,
I don't know, but it's perfect.
I think the developers are probably just Nintendo fans.
Yeah, the devs have got to be Nintendo fans. I mean, if they made a modern day arcade game with like pixel style, they were like, they probably grew up with Nintendo.
Yeah, for sure.
But I mean, you guys have all played Killer Queen before?
Yes.
Okay, so I played it extensively the past like 2 weeks at CoinOp. Shout out CoinOp Chattanooga here. But they, I finally got to understand what that game is and how addicting it is and how fun it is to play. So I just love that it's coming to Switch. And it looks like they've changed up a lot about it too, which I'm not so certain about. I hope that they have like a base mode that is just like the original one, and then they have like the deluxe mode where you have like different weapons, different classes and stuff like that. And it looked like it was 16-bit instead of 8-bit.
Interesting. I didn't notice that.
It did seem like there was a little bit more to the
There's like more
animations.
Yeah, the actual sprites.
The guys running around and
the sprites looked more detailed almost. I don't know if Killer Queen is 8-bit. I can't remember. But I noticed more detail in the characters. So
I'm excited about the changes though. They said that they optimized it for consoles. So I'm excited about a little bit more complexity and different play strategies and whatnot.
4v4 online, which is great.
They did announce online. Okay, that's huge.
Yeah, so like you can have a team of 4 playing against other people. Like, that'd be so fun just to play on your couch, just try to like beat other people online.
Yeah.
Hopefully Nintendo's on. And one thing they did not talk about was our online service in this either.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that.
We're getting so close to the online service. It's like, guys, you got to tell us something.
Yeah, please.
So hopefully they get that figured out before. Killer Queen comes out. So we'll see.
Yeah, but just getting like a squad of 4 and going online sounds much
great.
fun.
Sounds great. Hollow Knight got announced. It's coming to Switch, and I don't know if you guys have played this game.
I haven't. I'm definitely looking forward to it.
This is right up your alley, and I think all of us will like this game. I was telling Matt that I have been wanting to play this game for so long because one of my friends from Bellhops a long time ago said, "Hey, have you tried Hollow Knight? I think you would love it. Like this game's awesome." And so I looked it up. Like it looks like a cool game, but it was on PC. I'm like, I'm not gonna play it on PC probably,
right?
Because I just don't like playing. Just the idea of playing a typical platformer, action platformer on a PC doesn't sound right to me.
Right.
So when it came to Switch and it comes with DLC, I'm just like, I'm all
perfect.
In. I'm ready to go. It's out and it's out today as well.
It's only $14.99.
Yeah, it came out the same day as that it got announced, which was cool as well. And I recently have been listening to game soundtracks more, and that soundtrack is phenomenal.
Really?
Yeah. So if you guys ever want to check it out on Spotify, it's really good. So that's available now. If you guys want to check that out. We got another cool announcement, Octopath Traveler. We got their, I don't know if the release date was known yet, but yeah, July 13th, 2018, so this is really soon. And we get a new demo that actually tailors into the story, like if you buy the game. So if you play this demo, it transfers over to your save in the game.
Yeah, that's huge.
Super smart.
It's like a 3-hour kind of ordeal, I think.
Yeah.
From what I've heard. I have not played it yet, and I haven't played the other one they released like a while ago. So have
Now
you?
that this one's
you
out,
said you
I
played
would
it, Landry?
Yeah, I started it, and you basically get to select a character, and you just. It's
Play
like the beginning of
first,
any RPG. You know, you meet a bunch of characters, you read like 20 minutes of dialogue, and you have like 2 battles that have like half the commands available. So I mean,
not too exciting.
Yeah, exactly. It's rather dull, to be honest, but just the pixel art is absolutely gorgeous, and the way that the sprites like move in the background is just.
I love that 2.5 D,
it's so
whatever
good.
to call that.
I love everything about that game already. So
That's gonna be such a good Switch game. Like just.
there's lots of these and
Handheld mode.
thous, and to be honest, that is annoying
To
but,
read.
Oh,
Yeah.
you see, I can't hate it.
Yeah.
I can't even like it a little bit. Maybe they'll change that, but probably not.
I can't even like it a little bit. This is terrible.
It is really bad.
You bastards. So yeah, super excited about that game. Can't wait for it. It's gonna be perfect on Switch, and I think it's Switch exclusive. Am I correct in saying that?
That is correct.
Or is it on PC too?
It is Switch exclusive.
That's so dope.
Yeah.
Man, way to go, Nintendo. Way to go.
Yeah, it's a big one.
Hey, Steven, thanks for tuning in, and Felipe, thanks also for tuning in. We're glad to have you guys here. Hopefully the video is still playing right now. Yeah, hour and 14 minutes, guys. We're rocking right now.
Rocking and rolling.
And the last announcement that I think everyone was kind of waiting for, Smash Bros. Ultimate, or Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, got announced. So I got a little trailer here for us we can check out. And I cut to the end part of this, so spoilers if you haven't watched this trailer yet. But just...
I mean, what more could you ask for that they're bringing back every single character that has ever been in Smash?
I could never even dreamed of that. to be honest. I was like, that was the furthest thing from even on my list. And when they announced it, I was like, this is the best thing ever.
Yeah,
I can't imagine this being any
I wasn't
better.
asking for it. I wasn't expecting it, but they over delivered.
Oh yeah,
Because you got to think about how hard it is to reapply for licensing for all those characters. You know, Cloud, Ryu, just everyone. Snake, yeah, which was cool to see him back as well.
All right, and Mario and Mega Man just got straight up murdered in this video.
Yeah, I know.
This is a pretty violent trailer for Ridley.
This trailer was awesome.
But really cool to see. I think we all knew that this was coming as soon as we saw them walking on that plank. I was like, oh, Ridley's coming here pretty soon.
Yep.
But just glad to see. I know, Matt, you've kind of been waiting for Ridley for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, he's been my number one for forever, and I hope he's like really hard to unlock too. I hope he's like the last guy that you get. It'll just be so satisfying.
He looks
incredible.
So good. He looks like he's like super fast and big and powerful.
He looks like a better Charizard, basically.
Yeah.
is my concern. I'm like, if I'm going to play as a dragon, I'm probably going to want to play as Ridley as opposed to Charizard. But no, I think it looks super good. Yeah, again, I couldn't have imagined them bringing every single character back. And I'm glad that they are making you start out with just 8 or so.
Yeah, that's
and
perfect.
then you continually unlock characters instead of just dumping them on you.
I know some people don't like to unlock characters, but I personally love that.
Oh,
and
yeah.
because I like to take my time with each character. I'm going to play through all of them. So
that's part of the game. I mean, you kind of feel motivated to play through it. Whereas like with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, when it got released on Switch, they just gave you pretty much every character, and you're like, oh. I guess all I'm working towards now is just the vehicle parts again. I was like, that's cool, I guess.
Yeah, kind of.
So yeah, no, I'm a little. The only thing I'm disappointed about in this release was the December 7th release frame.
Yeah, I really thought it was gonna be in September
with the online service.
Yep,
it's like just pair those together. The game looks ready. Like
it does. Yeah,
I don't, and I think Sakurai admitted to this. He was like, you know, the game was a lot easier to develop this time around because we had a lot of the assets from Smash Wii U that we could use. Obviously, we still had to create new characters, like adding Snake in, Ice Climbers back in, all that kind of stuff. But I love all the simple design changes they made as well.
Yeah.
Like where you can see as the villager that what you've pocketed, so that you know, like, okay, I'm gonna, because you probably pocket something, you forget you even pocketed it for a while.
Yeah.
There's like charge ups. You can track Shulk's. Like Shulk's thing is easier to navigate now. They just made a lot of like smart tweaks,
changes,
like small tweaks to the characters. So I think it'll play a lot like Smash Wii U. It'll just be a little bit better.
From things I've read, though, people who've played it, they say it's faster than the Wii U one. Though.
Oh, good.
And
good.
But not quite as fast as Melee, but like pretty close.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
The Melee guys have got to transition off eventually. It's like, guys, come on. It's like the game's great.
Oh
But
yeah, for sure.
just get really good at this one, please.
How is the GameCube controller going to work for this?
Same as the GameCube adapter from the Wii U.
USB port.
Mhm.
Oh, it is USB. I
Mhm.
totally forgot that.
Yeah, you just plug it in.
Yep.
And you're good to go. I don't have any GameCube controllers, so
It
Yeah,
looks
yeah.
like they're going to make a new one.
I'm totally
They have,
okay
yeah.
with the Pro controller for this.
Me too.
I mean,
the Pro controller is
I
so
love that
comfortable that
controller.
I'm pretty okay with it. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure purists will love to play the GameCube
Right.
controller because it is also very comfortable.
I'll probably just do one Joy-Con.
just one
Yeah.
time hold it sideways. Oh gosh, that
Dude,
sounds horrible.
That'd be so great to like walk into a tournament and just whip everybody with one Joy-Con.
Yeah.
It's-
I'm going to play with the Pokeball Plus.
Oh my gosh, that would be awesome. I guarantee you someone's going to try and do that with a Pokeball Plus. Oh, that's awesome. No, but I mean, yeah, I'm a little bummed out that this is not coming out sooner, but I'm happy to see what they've done with it and the fact that it's every single character and it's $60. You're not having to pay for all the other characters you had.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, we probably paid what, like over 135, 140
Something like that.
bucks for the DLC
Right, yeah.
characters.
Mhm.
Because they were like
lot.
$15 a pack.
yeah,
And you got like one or two characters usually every time.
Gosh.
So
that's a lot.
and they, I think they said that there will also be other characters that release over time. So it's not just this base 70. Is it 65? Yeah, 65 characters
yeah.
with Ridley.
I think they're still going to announce a couple more.
Yeah, I
But,
think there'll be a
like, for
few
the base
secret
game.
characters, which I hope so, because that's really like the fun part is you have your base roster that you
Mhm.
know about, and then you're like, oh, a little
Yeah.
surprise.
And if
secret
you can
character.
avoid spoilers, like actually unlocking a character you didn't know was
It's a
in the
big,
game.
big day.
Oh,
yeah.
It's a big
That'd be
day.
amazing.
I remember figuring out how to unlock Mewtwo on the.
Didn't you have to leave it on?
Melee? You had to leave it like you had to do a battle mode for over
Mhm.
24 hours or something like that. I
Just
forget
leave it
what
on
was.
overnight.
Just roast your GameCube because you would put it on like infinite time or something like that, and you
Mhm.
just have two computers just battle it out the entire time.
Yeah.
And that was
Nice.
it. So, yeah, I'm super pumped. But overall, I think Nintendo's conference was a little lacking just because they're just they didn't announce what they probably should have announced.
Mhm.
There was a
Yeah,
lot of
they
things
should've-
missing.
Just let people know that there is other stuff in the works. Their stock price or their stock market
dropped
value
quick.
dropped a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, which
Um,
is sad to hear. Cause like, come on, guys, you know.
And then Reggie is like, scraping to fix that.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think there's no excuse to at least give us an update on something you announced a year ago, like
Yeah.
maybe
Metroid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
You just
Or Yoshi,
or
even,
just tell us,
where
like, the
where heck
story.
is that game at?
give us like some like story elements or something like
Yeah.
that. Let us know what's going on with Yoshi, even if it is delayed. Like, hey guys, Yoshi's still in development. Situation with Yoshi right now is this. We're working on blah blah blah.
Yeah, or the online information would have been nice. Anything.
Yeah. But the fact that they still haven't talked about it and we've known about the online service for over a year and a half now, it's like, come on, y'all.
Yeah, exactly.
Where I'm a little nervous now. A little nervous.
And I'm fine to wait for Metroid. Like I would rather it be
Oh,
looking
me too. I would rather
perfect,
it come
yeah.
out in 2019 and have a great game. or something,
Mhm.
but still, it'd be
just
nice to see
something.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Something.
a year, an entire year, and nothing.
Right.
Nothing more than a logo.
All right, so that is it. That is a full E3 recap, guys. Great job.
Yeah,
Appreciate y'all
Thank you.
doing that.
there's a lot of meat on that bone.
So in least to best or worst to best, I have EA, and then I have it looks like Bethesda, and then I have Square Enix, and then I have Bethesda. I don't know what Bethesda was. Bethesda was like 5. I don't know. I'm getting confused now. But basically, my 1, 2, and 3 were Sony was number 1, Microsoft was number 2, and Nintendo was 3. Those
Yeah, that's what I had too.
Those are my top 3. Matt,
I agree with that.
same with you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. All in all, a less jam-packed E3 in terms of big
Mhm.
announcements. But what I did like is that a lot of the developers are focusing on games that they know that are coming out in the near future. So it's like, okay,
Mhm.
at least I know these are games that I can kind of get excited about because I'm going to see them sooner than later. Where like
Yeah.
a long time ago was you would see a logo like kind of Metroid Prime 4, and then you're not going to see that game for 4 or 5 years, or anything Kojima releases basically.
Yeah,
you're
basically.
not going to see for 5 years. So. Well, that's it, guys. So thank you so much for tuning in, and gentlemen. Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate y'all.
Good to be
Anytime.
back.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you.
It's been a. I've taken a long 2-month sabbatical. Just resetting. As you notice, we have video and all kinds of cool stuff now on the podcast. So kind of planning that, but also just taking a break. Making sure that when I do this, I'm not stressing myself out. because believe it or not, we're not getting paid to do this. We're doing it out of a passion,
not all of us
passion project. Yeah, these guys are getting paid. I'm losing money. I'm hemorrhaging money right now. Unfortunately, that is the end of our podcast. Remember, BitCast is supposed to be a weekly podcast that covers most things video games and pop culture. Be sure to leave reviews on iTunes, just like, and I had this pulled up, but I might have lost it now. I got some good reviews actually recently. It's funny, like when you go on a little break, you just expect nothing to happen, but people actually like left some reviews. So I was like, oh, that's kind of nice. Oh dang it, it's playing the actual show. How do you go to like the actual shows on here? I should know this, shouldn't I? Hold on, guys. We're going to the reviews now.
It's gonna be worth it.
Okay, well,
so worth it.
You know what? Maybe it's not because I don't even know how to find them. Here we go. God, at the very bottom. Let's see. This is from Garcia Idris.
Huh. Sounds like a cool guy.
A good friend that we all know. He said, fun and casual. I enjoy the BitCast crew because they draw you into the conversation. They often have different views, which leads to a nice variety of opinions. I've often listened to the car and wanted to join in the conversation or call into the show if I could. It's just a fun podcast to listen to because, sorry, I had to go to the full read-through. Gosh, this is a bad read-through, guys. I'm sorry. It's a fun podcast to listen to because it's casual and conversational in nature. I don't play many video games, but I am often interested in the movies they chat about. So I'd highly recommend giving it a listen if one or several of the titles call your name.
Very nice.
Thanks, Idris. And we have some more. We have about 3 new ones that are going to be read off across the next couple of podcasts, but I'll save those for next time. So
very nice.
Make sure to leave reviews because you'll get yours read off really terribly like I just did on the podcast. Go to bitbloggers.com and check all the recent postings we've had there. Check us out on Instagram or Facebook. That's where we're most often posting at. And we're always live on Facebook with our podcast. So if you want to ever talk to us during it and just say some funny things or ask questions, you can do that. And send topic suggestions to bidcast@bitbloggers.com, just like Landry did over here. That's how he got on the show, basically. He was just like, hey, I have a question about this. And his question was so amazing. I was like, I got to have this guy on the podcast. I was like, it was just so well written. So... but other than that, that's it. So until next time, this has been BitCast. Thanks for tuning in to talk about some stuff. Oh gosh, the outro.